So I'm not sure. Maybe I will tag this both Bitcoin and gold and silver. There's a problem with Bitcoin. It's most of the community is honestly kind of isolated. Kind of not fully in the real world. I'm not talking about everyone. There are some hardcore people out there that I admire, but it's halfway captured already by banking systems. I never got a lot, just disclaimer. I have enough for a runway for me to set up this tiny product and service that I hope to do with my Nepali friends. Because, yeah, there is a world out there that is saner and more direct. Anyway, inflation. Why money matters. I always had that hunch myself, and I had that experience, like literally not going hungry because I had some silver coins that I stacked away in 99, 2000? 98 maybe? No, 99. I forgot that, because you're not supposed to know about these things. They actually coached us really hard on learning how to do compound rates when I was 12, 13. It adds up. So I had this one part of me coming from an old knowledge. And here we are. And things are just falling apart. Inflation in the maritime setting here is actually lower. These kind of faulty services where you pay with apps and things in these fancy harbors there's been a bit of inflation, of course, but this boat has deflated in value because the culture is slowly, well, the culture of people like me is kind of dying, I guess. There's some new around. Anyway, so I'm gonna start this series now, and it's a great start because I never wanted to have to get into this because I didn't really trust the system. I never trusted the system, but I thought it was possible to run a compromise with it, which was my one major mistake in living and business. But things are not looking good in terms of Europe is done for. There will be major, big happenings. Big stuff is going to happen. I hope it's just going to be a sort of collapse of the European Union. The reason I'm out here is that I need to connect to the right people. But there's been periods like this before. When I grew up, everyone was going, the war, everyone. It could be daily that it was mentioned. And most of those people were still of working age, so it was a very real thing. So what I'm going to show you guys now is from the previous one. This is... Why do they always mirror? Why do all of the phones mirror? Anyway, this is from 1916, Denmark. So they had a law, 15th of August 1914, there was a law when I started using, I'm not sure about the details here, but it seems like there was a law instigated in 2014 where these were redeemable for silver instead of using silver coins directly. And 1 corner, 1 crown back then was probably enough for, I don't know, but it was real, valuable. Inflation now is like, what do you get? You get like a part. You pay 5 of them for a plastic bag if they let you have it at all. It's worth nothing. Was it redeemable during the war and after the war? Probably not during the war. After, I don't know. This is just the nature of things. But this was redeemable in silver. So here I have, when I got rid of some of the last gold I had, these are 3 silver crowns. They are now worth like $75. I could stay 2 nights here for that. 1893, 1875, 76, something like that. Here, the awareness of that is much less than it should be, I guess. Like in the US, it's higher. I don't know about the rest of the world. But I'm going to use these. I'm going to start asking the stores, like, hey, can you take this? It's like old. It's Danish, but it's old. And I've got some from Norway, and I get some from Sweden too. Do you know that this honestly is enough for this shopping bag? Did you know that? I'm going to start using them like that. I got a bunch of these types of notes. I'm going to maybe, if I get some, if I'm a defluencer that ends up having followers, I might send them out or something. But I'll also put them up for sale in the national classifieds that is now guarded by a digital ID. You can't even read the classifieds without a digital ID, some type of solution. And they are trying to close down, more or less, in effective ways, sales of old things like this boat. It's bonkers. It's totally bonkers. So I have a bunch of these from different countries, and it's really something that shows you what's about to happen. I think we are halfway through this reset thing. If the monetary underlying reset, if the rewiring, the repiping of the global financial systems, if it is done by now, all you have to wait for is the decline. But if we have one more round of this coming, like this Ebola, well, I'm in a boat. So if everyone goes insane about virus, can I say virus here? I'll stay out here happy, like I did on a motorbike in 2020. Some people will get on top. People you never imagined getting on top will get on top. Will I be among those? I don't know, but I'm giving myself a fighting chance. That's the point. And that's the point of taking the social risk of even mentioning Bitcoin. You can kind of do it here because it's a public ledger, but to mention Monero, well, I've done it. There's actually some risk to that. Fantastic. And all of these things, you cannot stop them. You cannot stop Bitcoin. It's owned mostly by the banks and corporations now. But you certainly can't stop Monero. The EU will try to ban it in 2027. Or was it? Yeah, 27. Talk about what a stellar opportunity for marketing Monero until it's banned. And then each individual everyone has to decide what they do. I got a Belgian banknote too. It was not like that. Europe was built on letting competent people do, to a certain extent, do what they deemed necessary. This nation has a long history of, it was shipping. Everyone who's fully on board with the story of the previous war, have to be careful here, should know that the Norwegian merchant fleet saved England. This is in the words of several top people, including Churchill himself. And I got this book. It's a very well-known book, insanely well-written book that is going through all of the brutal things that they had to go through, especially in terms of like the mental pressure. I met some of those people while they were still alive. And the thing is, even I don't know too much about this period, because the same thing happened. Sailors were torpedoed and treated in horrible ways. So expect the same. I know how to defend myself verbally in terms of and jiggling systems, and so I'm not really worried about myself, but all of my worries goes towards the social risk of being perceived as whatever. I have to say one thing though about being far right and all of this bullshit. I think Genghis Khan had very sane, very effective economic policies. Look it up. That's how they built the empire. Because if you didn't back down, you were dead. If you backed down and you cooperated, you could do well. I'm not advocating that. I'm not advocating anything. It's just funny. If the EU adopted the economic policies of Genghis Khan, it would save itself. That's so hilarious. And if things really kick off, they'll sort of do it. They'll be forced to do it, because then you're in territory which is the same as when the Soviet Union collapsed. And that's what I've feared through the years. I still think that is very much possible. So better ride the wave, better be in front of the wave. That's what I'm doing. Create luck. You might need it later. And good luck.